It's so interesting recording in the bathroom. I got the tripod on the sink. You know what I'm saying? You trying to make sure the phone don't fall. It's like, man, I hope it turned out right. We better see what it do though real quick. Let's get this thumbnail. What's going on, Transcendent Family? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tamar Lawton. And as you can see from the thumbnail, we're talking about how to style a patchy beard, right? A lot of people are like, hey, it's either full or nothing at all. And I'm here to tell you all, if you even got like a little bit of scruffle, there are things you can do to enhance your beard so you can stay on the journey. A lot of us, the reason why we cut it is because we don't like the patchy stage. We don't like the ugly stage, right? And I can't even really do this because it's like, it can look a little unkept. So today we're gonna clear all that up, all right? So first things first, a lot of you all are complaining about your beard being patchy, but you're not even doing the bare minimum when it comes to maintaining it. And that is having a brush, right? So you have to have a brush. If you look at my beard right now, it's brushed up. It looks absolutely crazy. But look at this right here. Oh my gosh, like, look at the difference just from grooming myself. What? Might be some shots fired. No, really guys, y'all gotta take care of yourself. This is the bare minimum you need. Now I got some other tips that are really gonna take it to the next level, so don't think that it's just gonna stop with this. But I see so many guys just trying to jump to all these other like methods of styling their beard or just growing their beard, and they're not doing this. So we gotta start here. And before we really even get into the video, get it laid down. It shouldn't just be like 1, 2, all right, I'm out the house. I typically count to about 25 when I'm brushing, because what you need to do is train your hair to lay down in whatever direction you're brushing it, whether it's down. If you watch my previous video, you remember that I said my barber, he actually brushes his beard like this so it can connect. Whatever way you're gonna do it, if you don't train it consistently, it's not gonna work, right? And so you gotta continuously give it something, especially if you have curly hair like me, your hair is gonna wanna come up, especially when it's hot in the summertime, it's gonna wanna curl up. So train it to lay down. Second basic thing you need, and like I said, we gotta cover this before we get into the main tips. You're gonna need a comb once your beard gets to a certain length. Like if you think the brush is enough, I used to be one of those people that was like, the brush is enough, it's not enough. Make sure you get a comb, wooden comb, right? And we can go into why it needs to be wooden later, but you basically use that. I use the small side here, helps lay it down more. I come get this other side. Let's check, see how it's looking. You see how much different that looks? Just from me getting in there and grooming it, and then the water tooth for, of course, my goatee that doesn't have any struggles at all. So trying to get the rest of the beard that way, right? All right, so now we can jump into the actual tips, right? Tip number 1 of how to style a patchy beard is really a segue from last video, and that is getting a holding product. Now, again, you can use any product you want. I've had this for some time. This is honestly, I'm starting off with this one because this is my least favorite out of all my tools, but it's the easiest one. You can just get this done really quick and head out the door, right? It's really simple. So what you would do is you would get a little bit of this product. I'll get it a little bit closer here so you can see it. I got this at Target. Again, use whatever you want to, but you put this in there. It basically helps hold the beard down. So you brush, right? You do your comb, you add this, and then you brush and you comb again, and it'll hold that beard down, because for a lot of us, I know I'm not the only one, our beards are curly. And so if you don't train it to lay down or in that process of doing that, it's almost like waves, right? That hair will start to curl up and it will reveal the patches. So you're gonna wanna get this in your life or something of this nature. Like I said, not even really super big on ingredients. I've had this for a long time. This joker might be expired if I'm just being honest with y'all. But this is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is where we start to get a little fancy. And this is where the video really starts to pick up its je ne sais quoi. All right, so what we got right here is the Pacino signature line, okay? And this is a beard pencil filler. So I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it. It's a beard pencil filler, and it's exactly what it says. It comes out like this. Looks like a little marker, right? See if we'll zoom in there. There we go. And it has those little teeth. It's not hard at all. It's literally like a Sharpie marker. And what you can do is get really, really crispy line finishes. Now, I know some of you all are gonna be like, bro, I'm not finna sit here and paint my beard. There's two things I want to tell you before you just write this thing off. One, my sister's fiance, his beard is incredible. This is the Rick Ross beard. He has like a nice thick beard. He's bald. Usually, you know, the baldies, they be having the strong beards, right? God takes away one, he blesses you with the other. But anyways, I was surprised to find out that he actually uses this, even though his beard is so full, he can really go in. He said he loves using this for detail work. So you can really get in and get into some fine details. And I'm gonna show you all a second so we can compare and contrast one of my other tips, but it allows you to get into like some fine details, some corners. I would say that this tip is really for someone that is like slightly patchy, right? If you got patches like all over like the beard and you're in that beginning stage, this isn't going to be good for you because it really only blends a beard in, right? It's not gonna fill areas where there's just nothing there. There has to be some hair to kind of blend in with. Otherwise, you're not gonna get anything from it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm gonna try and show you all. I've never did this on camera, so haven't even practiced. But what you wanna do, I'm gonna get really close here so y'all can see. Oh, I thought that was some acne. I was like, what is that? Anyways, you can get on your line, right? My beard line. And what you would do is just do this, okay? And you just nick that line, and this might be messy because like I said, I usually don't do it like this. Pardon if the camera starts to unfocus. And you would just nick this line. And you can kind of see it's darkening a little bit, okay? And before it dries, what you do is you grab your brush and you brush it down. So you see how that's darker? You see that contrast there? That's because I just added it in and I brushed it down, okay? And then you can go in, you can make another line. Kind of like this. And you can see that darkening up there. And then boom. You see how that before this top line here was darker and now it's just blended, right? And naturally you could just keep going with this. Like I said, for the sake of the time of the video, that was a big mark, you see. I actually just stabbed my face with it. And it's not that it hurts or anything, but it's kind of like a marker, like I said. You want to do really quick, crispy strokes. And this is probably the worst I've ever did this. Just trying to give you all a visual representation. And you can just kind of keep doing it. You see how it's like really blending everything in. And you're gonna want to continue to brush as you do it. Do a line, brush, do a line and brush, because you don't want it to dry before you're finished. If it dries, then you're not gonna be able to blend. And so what will happen is you'll just have a line. So you need to do one line, brush it, blend it, one line, brush it, blend it. And then once you finish, you just keep going here, right? And really what you can do, just depending on the length of your beard, like I said, if your beard isn't quite to this point yet, your boy's come a long way. If it's not to this point yet, you could use this, and then you could also use this, right? And so you don't want to have your beard caked up. So anytime you're doubling products, you bring it down a lot. But like I said, you could blend, 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 and then do a little bit of this to make sure the growth. Remember the tip from the last video, make sure you're keeping that down. And that is a crucial combination. Typically I'll do one or the other, but it just depends on where your beard is at. Now, a little bit of housekeeping with this beard pencil. There's other beard pencils. I like this one a lot. It's waterproof, long lasting. It does have a natural look. I can attest that it is semi-waterproof. I never jumped in a pool with this. It does last a decent amount of time. Like if I put this on in the morning, 8 a.m., I come back at 11 p.m. at night, it's still gonna be there. You're not gonna be hugging somebody at church and have to do church hugs. You can really get in there and it's not gonna rub off. Like you can do your thing. Now, one thing I would say that was a crucial tip that my sister fiance also told me is you need to really make sure that this color that this pen uses is the color of your beard hair. What does that mean? If you look at my hair and I ask you what color is my hair, dang, that beard looking good just from that little bit. But if I asked you what color my hair was, you would say black, right? But my hair is actually dark brown, like a really, really dark brown. And if you get a black when you have dark brown hair as opposed to getting their dark brown, because this is dark brown. I don't see where it says it on the box. Well, actually, no, it has it right here. Dark brown, right? If you get black, it's gonna look fake, right? And so you want something that's really gonna blend. And a lot of times you'll see barbers do this. Really good barbers don't make this mistake, but sometimes you'll see barbers and they're just painting their clients. And the reason why it looks like, dang, he just got the Sharpie, is because they put black and they needed dark brown for a more natural look. So like I said, again, looking at my hair again, if you look at it, dark brown is what keeps it natural. If I did black, it would look like I'm just kind of painting myself. So again, you can see kind of the difference here. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the rest of this because I want to do a compare and contrast to this next tip I have for you all. All right, tip number 3, and the final way that I have for you all today to style a patchy beard is getting some kind of hair fiber applicator and applying it to that patchy area. So I'm using Topic right now. I'll let you all see this and take a quick look and see. It says dark brown. So even with the hair fibers, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're using something that is going to blend in with your hair nicely. And so let's go ahead and get into it and actually show you all how this looks. So again, this was the Pacino beard pencil. And as you can see, one other con with this, there's just a patch I have right here that there's no hair at all. And so I can do a lot more detail work and really try and get in with the pencil. But if it doesn't have any hair that it's blending with, there's not too much you can do. It's just kind of still a patch. Now, usually because my goatee is so grown in, when I brush it, it starts to kind of cover it. But this is where some kind of hair fiber applicator, like I said, I'm using Topic in this example, is really, really crucial, because if you want to get that nice, like full beard look, you can kind of just give it to yourself, right? And be able to fill in a patch completely. Now, I will say, don't go too hard with it. I've seen people use this out of context where maybe their beard grows lower like this and then they just fill in this entire area with no hair being there with hair fibers. That can look crazy. And what you'll also want to pay attention to is these hair fibers bind with the hair that is on your face. And so if there's no hair there at all in that area, it's not binding to anything. So keep that in mind. But let me show you all how easy it is to do this. And again, this is gonna be interesting. My first time doing this in the camera, so I apologize. But I like to do it in rows the same way I do it with the Pacino beard pencil. And I just start at the bottom as opposed to top. So what I do is I pull my goatee over to the side. A little ASMR for you all. My wife says this sounds so interesting. She's like, this, it sounds like the way it is. And I was like, I don't know what that means. She's not a crude joke kind of person, so she definitely doesn't mean anything crazy. I can already imagine some of the comments. So remember, y'all, it's a family environment. Don't go crazy down there. Okay, and just like that, I got a few areas I can kind of tighten up, but look at that. You know what I'm saying? Wait, that wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? I had to get a Rick Ross in real quick. I was like, I had to get it out. I don't really listen to Ross that much anymore. But anyways, so yeah, as you can see, this is filled in. Like, this is incredible. I actually pop up a few pictures where I did this and it just looked super good. It was natural. I did this for my wedding. I do this for a lot of my date nights with my wife. Like, when I just want to have that grown man, like, you're not about to play with me kind of beard, I use this one right here. If I'm going a little bit lighter and I'm like, you know what? You know, I just want it to be full. I want to be a little, you know what I'm saying, a little modest. I don't know if that's the right word. I go with the Pacino, little light touch, you know. But here I'm like, nah, like, don't mess with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably somebody's daddy. We ain't got kids yet. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. So again, this is the hair fiber beard pencil. And again, like I said, I can do a little bit more detail work here for sure. The biggest thing that I can't say this enough that you all are gonna have to avoid is just going too crazy with this to where it just looks fake. Because also too, one thing you can do, to be honest with you, is you see this little corner here. I usually leave that out because that's a legit gap. That's like that's the struggle corner that every man has. Nobody looks down upon this corner. I feel like everybody expects it. If you're going on dates, women expect this corner to be gone. So, but if I wanted to, I could fill in that corner and it would still stay, because there's one last tip with this, and this is the secret weapon. You got to get a waterproofing spray, okay? This is a non-negotiable. If you're gonna do this, you got to have a waterproofing spray. A lot of these hair fiber companies, they offer a waterproofing spray that comes with it. I have taken this to the limits. You all know I'm a peak performance coach. I've worked out outside where I'm sweating profusely, doing handstand push-ups, all kinds of crazy stuff. I haven't gotten the pool with it. Take that with a grain of salt. If you want to try that, you know what I'm saying, you can do it. But I have taken it to the limit when it comes to workouts. I did full hugs, not the church hugs. And it's been awesome. The only drawback I can say to the hair fibers, if you're wearing something white like this, and I just had on a white shirt today. I don't think y'all can see it. I did a good job spraying it today. Sometimes it can kind of come off the beard a little bit and you'll be like, what are these little black flakes or dark brown flakes that are on my shirt? But other than that, you're good. All right, you all, that's all I have for you all in this video. Man, shout out to Kenny Rodman 7390. Y'all give him some love because he's the one who actually recommended this video. He's like, hey, you're pretty much already talking about how to style a patchy beard. You might as well go ahead and make a full video on it. So shout out to them for recommending this video topic. And while we're on that note, go ahead and hit subscribe so you can see future videos. It won't all be about beards, but I will say that I have something coming in the mail very, very soon that I'm gonna start using on my beard. It's gonna be the first time I've ever used it. No, it's not minoxidil. No, it's not a thermal roller. So I'm gonna start using that over the next few months. I'm gonna take some before pictures and we're gonna come back and I'm gonna give you all some more games. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, y'all know I'm a peak performance coach, so we're talking about how to level up spiritually, mentally, and physically. You're gonna wanna stay around for that, so hit the subscribe button, tap that like button, tap it, and then also, if you're on social media and you're not commenting, you're not being social, you're taking the social out of media, so you're just absorbing media, make sure y'all get down in the comments section and let me know which one of these 3 tips do you all like the most, and based on where your beard is at, which one can you start applying today? All right, without further ado, you know I love you, but more importantly than that, Jesus loves you. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.